Are you feeling stuck right now? Like a rabbit caught in the headlights? Maybe you don't know which way to turn, you don't know where to start. Or maybe you know what you need to be doing, but for some reason just can't get on with it. You're in the right place because today I'm going to share with you 10 tips that are going to help you stop procrastinating. I've created a free downloadable workbook and guide just for you that will reinforce the tips that I'm going to share with you today. The link is down below, so get your free copy today. Okay, so a quick look at the reasons why you might be procrastinating. Sometimes we feel so overwhelmed we become like that rabbit in the headlights and we freeze. We just don't know what to do, which way to turn. Sometimes we are afraid of failing, and if we don't do anything then we can't fail at it, but our life doesn't change and we don't progress in any way, so that's no good. Sometimes it may be a fear of success. Some people are afraid that if they achieve something, if they move forward in their life, they might be leaving other people behind, or they might not be accepted within their family group or within their peers. Some of my clients tell me that it's overthinking that holds them back. For others, it's a lack of self-confidence or a lack of self-belief, sometimes even a lack of self-worth. Why would this work out for me? What's the point? And sometimes it just feels very messy. They don't know what the goals are that they want to go for. There's a lack of clarity. So all of these things and loads more besides could be holding you back. But the reason why is not as important as knowing some tips and tricks that are going to help you get unstuck. So let's dive into those tips. If you want to make the following tips even more effective, then just pause this video for 1 minute, grab a pen and paper and note down some or all of the things that you have been putting off doing. Write down the list of things you've been procrastinating. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, here goes. Tip number 1. Focus on the end result. Whatever it is that you need to be doing, just think about how good it's going to feel when you have that thing done, whether it's a chore in the home, doing the laundry or doing some admin work. Just think of how good you're going to feel when you have those piles of freshly laundered clothes, a wardrobe full of stuff that you can choose from to wear, or when your filing is all up to date and you're going to feel that relief. Tip number 2. Break things down into small steps. The smaller the better. And I encourage all my clients to aim for 10-minute chunks because we can always find 10 minutes to chip away at something that needs to be done or to complete something. If, for example, you want to do some decluttering at home or in your office, then rather than thinking you have to do a whole room and find a half day to do it, just focus on one small part. Set yourself a certain time frame and focus on one drawer or one shelf in a cupboard, for example. You could decide to make 5 piles. When you take everything off there, so one pile will be stuff that you will keep, another pile will be things that you can sell and raise some money, another pile for things that need to be recycled, another pile for the bin, and another pile for things that are in good working order but you just don't want any more and you're not going to sell them, so pop them in the pile for the charity shop. Once you've done that, put the things that you're going to keep back into their place and then quickly put the others in their rightful place, recycling bin, charity bag, etc. Tip number 3. Following on from what I've just said, why not get into the habit of setting a 10-minute timer when you need to do something? On another video in my YouTube channel, I've got a 10-minute timer set to funky music, and that helps a lot of people get things done, and because you do it alongside me in the video you don't feel like you're on your own for this. So set a timer, put some music on if that's going to help you, and do 10 minutes of something then reward yourself with a rest, a cup of tea or whatever. You may feel really motivated and raring to go and want to do some more. So great, go for it. If not, that's okay. You've made progress, you've made a start, you've done something, and that is always better than doing nothing. Tip number 4. Find ways of making the tasks you need to do more fun. Make the space that you have to do them in more comfortable. Make sure that the room or the space is the right temperature. Get yourself a nice drink. Get a friend round to help you do the job, and maybe you can return the favour. Just make it as easy, as pleasant as possible for yourself. Tip number 5. Think of a reward that is going to help motivate you when you've finished doing what you need to do. It doesn't have to be expensive or a big shopping spree, but if that's affordable for you, then go for it. You might just want to reward yourself with a luxury hot chocolate or a ride out on your bike, something that makes you feel good. So promise yourself that you will do that once you've done the job in hand. If you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to give it the thumbs up, click on subscribe and click on the bell to get future notifications. Thank you. Tip number 6. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself like you are your own best friend. If you're having those thoughts, those doubts, or why do I deserve to have this? I shouldn't be having something nice. I shouldn't be working towards this goal. I shouldn't be successful. Ask yourself, why not me? And I promise you, there is no reason on this earth why you don't deserve to have nice things, why you don't deserve to achieve your goals any more than anybody else on this planet. Get used to talking to yourself in the mirror and congratulating yourself when you have taken a step towards your goal or when you have accomplished one of your tasks. Give yourself a high five and cheer yourself on. Become your own champion. Tip number 7. Ask yourself some questions. Does this task really need to be done? And be honest in your answer. If it does, ask yourself, are you the only one who can do it? Could you ask somebody else to do it? Could you ask somebody else to help you with it? If so, who will you ask and when will you ask them? Make sure you get really specific and make sure that it happens. Tip number 8. Use time blocking or time boxing techniques. So time blocking is when you block off some time in your diary, on your calendar, to do a certain job or to chip away at your goals. Time boxing is when you allocate a certain time and you block it off on your calendar, but you're saying to yourself, that's it, I'm going to give myself 1 hour to do my best at tidying that room, or 1 hour to complete that report. Then I click send at the end of those 60 minutes. Tip number 9. Make a Procrasta-Do list. I used to find that I was putting certain tasks from one to-do list to another, day after day, week after week. Then I had the idea of making a Procrasta-Do list. So all those repeat offenders, if you like, I made a list of them. And then when I had a bit of free time or I wasn't in the mood to do what I'd set out to do, I look on my list and I take off one of those tasks and either do it or chip away at it. So that's your Procrasta-Do list, and down below you will find a link so that you can print off your own Procrasta-Do list if you'd like to use my template. And finally, tip number 10. Drop the perfectionism. There is no such thing as perfection, and there is no point in waiting for the perfect moment to do something, because there is no perfect moment. We have to create the moment, and we have to accept that good enough is good enough. So be realistic. If you have to write a report, for example, maybe you don't need to spend hours and hours making flowery sentences. Perhaps bullet points are going to be what is needed for the end user to understand what you've written or to absorb that information. If you're doing cleaning, then just do what you can do within the time allotted using some of the previous techniques. It will be good enough. So stop waiting for that perfect moment. Stop waiting until you have a free weekend, a free half day in order to do something. Just get on with it and know that it will be good enough. Your best effort will be good enough. Good luck.